It took 2 attempts, but a proper return to form has happened for the Mario Party franchise. And boy, are we all glad it's back. I myself am pleased to see the game ditch the car and other newer gimmicks in favor of a return to the classic format to see what still works and what needs to change. I would say the game is fully back, but there's actually still some problems that need to be ironed out. This isn't intended to be a review, so we can put away the clipboard for now. But I just want to talk about what Mario Party Superstars does good, what it does bad, and is there any hope for new content? Let's start with the good. Apart from what I stated earlier, the first thing to mention is that all these boards have adjustments to improve the overall experience. I'll go one at a time here, starting with the least changed boards first. Yoshi's board adds a shop on the left island to buy whatever you need, but the custom dice block that costs 12 coins is power here, as you can change Bowser's and Toadette's location at any time if you hold one, and may very well dictate some players' choice of travel or force them to burn an item sooner than expected. The mushroom spaces in all boards have been turned into item spaces, since, well, that 50-50 chance was never fun either way. Spaceland has some spaces rearranged, and the southeastern gate has a chance time lock behind it, giving it some value for a player feeling risky. This board has the most minor changes out of the 5. Horrorland has some minor map changes, namely the addition of the 2 item shops and an extra bank, while pushing the first bank more forward, past the first fork in the central area. Woody Woods is the first to have some major deviations in comparison to the original version, changes I am all for, and changes that need some more time to explain properly. So, the banks are all pushed towards the upper half of the map, so you don't need to worry about losing your early game coins. The bottom left portion of the map, normally a very painful way to loop back around to the first signpost to try and move it right instead of left this time, had a Monty waiting to help you flip it in case you were not favored to go across the way you wanted, or just to screw over another player on any part of the map. It has been removed for an item shop, but this item shop is different, as it contains some items you can't find anywhere else in the map, and in some cases the whole game. While yes, the normal mushroom is here for a cheap option, which is actually not a bad pickup despite the competition if you really want to get out of that loop fast. There are 2 main items of note. The first is the chomp call to move the star away. While this is spammed more in Horrorland or Spaceland, here not so much, if no one comes down to the shop. And the second is a plunder chest. The item lets you take a random item from another player of your choice. It's a very good defensive item that makes people think twice from buying a triple dice or golden pipe. And, well, we'll be getting to the golden pipe later, trust me. And towards the end of the game, you can spend 40 coins for a shot at a hidden block, which may or may not give you a star. For a higher placed player, you're just burning your coins more often than not. But if it's a low scoring game, and 1 star puts you in the thick of it, being in last place has its advantages here. While there is no explicit RNG discovered yet for the hidden blocks in this game, or at least none that I could find myself, it might be safe to assume that getting a star is more likely if you're placed 3rd or 4th though. Again, I don't have much evidence to confirm this, more so just a trend I've noticed. And the last major change is a great one. In the original, these gates here took you downward, and considering you are skipping Boo on the top one, this is a great change. Skeleton keys are actually good here. You can see Boo even if you don't get sent along the proper track. And the other gate has a chance time behind it for that extra hint of chaos if you so desire it. This map is treated as the worst of the game, but in my mind, it has the second best glow up, and it might just be one of the better maps of this game, in my opinion. Now, as for the biggest changed map, we gotta go hit up the dessert menu for this. Peach's birthday cake has its piranha plant gimmick changed. Normally in the original, you had to pay 30 coins for the plant to steal a star, so landing on one happening space in the first few turns had no value apart from padding out the number for the bonus star. Now, you can just pay 5 coins instead to get a smaller plant that can steal coins only, and it may stick around to steal again sometimes. And if you land on your own plant again, you can get some coins from it for free. And by that point, if you have 30 coins, you are free to upgrade it so it can steal stars. so it is much easier to lay claim to a happening space here, and the map is better for it. The other major change is the layout and the lottery system with Goomba. If you take the Bowser seed, it resets regardless of when it was picked, unlike in the original, where if someone picked Bowser first, the next 3 players can rest assured knowing that they will see Toad. However, in this game, it may not all be that bad. The one who sees Bowser must play the lottery again in the original. While it is mathematically unlikely, it is possible to be trapped with Bowser. In Superstars, you will immediately be on track to the star, skipping all the potential Piranha Plant spaces. And in the late game, if you have enough coins to burn, you can rush your way past Bowser and get another star. So all of a sudden, it may not be all that bad to see him. You may lose a lot of coins, but if you factor in a battle space and a chance time in this section as well, you could easily make up for that if you're lucky. Or, if you get a great roll from a triple dice, you could just mow through it all and be in contention for a star right away. While these 2 boards are rated as the worst boards, I can say they've improved enough to where a veteran can appreciate them. But also, anyone can learn their ins and outs, and thus exploit them for their benefit. Although, this is the same community that rated Mario Party 6 as one of the lowest rated games, and said Mario Party 1 is the best. So maybe, just maybe, we should take their opinions with a grain of salt. Either way, the boards are all refined to a solid standard. However, the same cannot be said with the items. With a vague statement like that, you may think I'm under the belief that all the items are bad. Actually, most of the items are from, or at least inspired by, the original items in 2 and 3. You have your standard double and triple dice roll, the curse block to work on anyone, a chomp call to move the star around, and the skeleton key as mentioned earlier. Some items are rare and usually cannot be bought under normal circumstances. The plunder chest, for example, can only be bought in one store in Woody Woods, and everywhere else it is banned to only appearing as a random item in a minigame. The Boo Bell is also banned to item minigame hell, and the only other way to get it is by getting it as a last 5 turns reward, which is only a moderate chance at that. But my main concern is the golden pipe. Now, I'm not one of those players who thinks there's no honor in using it, but what made the early Mario Party titles more balanced was that first and second place players didn't get many opportunities for a golden pipe, and it was more reserved for the latter placed players who needed the opportunity to climb back in it. In this game, however, once it's available in the shop, anyone can pick it up. This can turn games into one-sided contests, as the rich just get richer. The star gap can get wider, and barring a chance time, the lead may be viewed as too insurmountable to overcome. The custom dice block is also a bit broken, but more so for its price. It's only 12 coins! Personally, I would bump it up to 15 or higher in some boards like Yoshi's Tropical Island, because with it, you can control the gimmick itself, and bend it to your will much more easily. But regardless, the dice block itself isn't a deal breaker in my mind, but I do believe the golden pipe should be a bit harder to get for the top players at least, and I would be fine with bringing the Boo Bell back for people in last place, but hey, that's just me. But regardless, nerf the golden pipe, just so games can become more likely to be close to the very end. Now, apparently there are hints that there may be more boards planning to be added through DLC, but I should stress to you that in this part of the video, it's purely speculation on my end. But when I first saw the board lineup, I thought they were mostly okay at first. And to be honest, I still think there are other boards that should be here. But if the reported data mining is anything to go off of, there may be a chance. I won't get into technical stuff, for you can look that up yourself, but I would like to suggest what I believe would be the most excellent board options for this game, with one from each of the N64 games. Starting with the first one, a board like Mario's Rainbow Castle would be great, a short board with the brutal concept of reaching the end and seeing Toadette in this case. It's a foot race, but at any point, things can get flipped, and you'll see Bowser instead. The only problem with this one is that items can break this board in two if it keeps its current length. The more refined version of this board, like Castaway Bay or Shy Guy's Perplex Express, would be better for this, but I don't know if they intend to add post-N64 era boards. as those two in particular are built with item usage in mind. As for Mario Party 2, Western Land is an easy choice for me. One of the biggest boards ever conceived, it's also one of the most popular. And for good reason. It also stands to gain the most from refinements that Superstars has been doing for the main 5 boards. Mario Party 3 had boards people want that I just don't agree with. Yes, Deep Blooper Sea and Chilly Waters are solid, albeit flawed boards, and Waluigi's Island is a crowd favorite for its chaos, but I want to go with a board that can also live up that desire, while also not completely ruining anyone's mood. Spiny Desert is by far one of the most underrated boards with a very fun concept. 2 stars are on the board at all times, but one is an imposter, and unless you have a magic lamp, you all have to pick one and hope you guessed well. Because once the fake is exposed, it's a mad dash to the real star. The chomp call would even be more brutal here, and with no more reverse mushrooms, the double boost strategy is impossible, so that exploit is now safe. Now, if GameCube era and beyond type of boards are a thing, then that opens up Pandora's box, and honestly, I'd be down for that. While I'm good on boards for Mario Party 4 and 5, I am so down for boards from 6 and 7. But the other things I want to get updated and upgraded is the minigame lineup and the character roster. The minigames are good, but there were some snubbed games that I feel should be added, and some games that I actually wonder why they're even here. If I could pick a number, I would add 10 4-player and 5 2v2 and 5 1v3 minigames. Also, a few more dual minigames with the option to bet stars would be great. And the roster is already solid, if you ask me, but if you take one look at Super Mario Party, there's clearly room for more. And while Bowser himself may not be able to join this one, I see no reason to put in, say, Diddy Kong or Dry Bones, or maybe even a new character like Pauline. I assume this DLC will have to be paid for, so you may as well make it worth our while. Now, I just covered the boards for the most part, but I believe if I delved into minigames themselves, we might be here for another 30 minutes, so let's just call it here, shall we? If you want more Mario Party videos, I do stream it once every week if possible, so go ahead and follow me on Twitch. If you want a follow-up to this video, just let me know. I can either further expand on this video and focus on the minigame quality, or just do a full version of this with these talking points expanded on top of other points I didn't get to talk about here. So just let me know what you all think would be more interesting. Thank you all so much for watching. If you're interested in reviews and content like that, feel free to subscribe. I already have a review of Yakuza Like a Dragon to go along with this one, so if you're interested in JRPGs or the Yakuza franchise in general, I have a link to it at the end screen and the description below. I am also a variety streamer on Twitch, and I'm usually streaming from Monday to Thursday, and sometimes on Saturday if work allows it. Speaking of, on every other Saturday, I am trying to have a Mario Party Superstars community night where viewers are welcome to play a match with me. If that interests you, feel free to drop in and join. All viewers are welcome. Again, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Stay safe out there.